Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. This may be the last program before we go to California, unless I'm here for Juma. But we want to put together a few things, and we want to establish the point of where we are in the Islamic movement. A lot of things going on. In fact, I remember I think I passed out the DVD last time. Did anybody get a chance to look at that? It had where we had talked specifically about the UN and Donald Trump and all that. Okay, now, there's a reason for everything coming out the way it do. Now, that looks basically like we almost organized that. That's the way it would look. But there's another thing you have to think about, is why was people laughing at Donald Trump and why he didn't go off. You got to look at if he did that on purpose, and if he had a team ready to. Some of it wasn't organized, but you could tell that Don didn't go off when people laughed at him, and the people might have laughed on cue. Therefore, now this is an alternative. What they call it, alternative truth, something like that. But I'm sorry, we don't look at this stuff just like one way. There's a standard view of the things that are happening in our lives and in the Muslim world. But these situations go very deep. And I want to spend a little time giving you a little bit of understanding about the criterions that we use and the level of competency. People don't usually talk about competency about themselves, but it's necessary. It's necessary because all the meetings we had, let's say, with MANA. MANA is a government-approved organization with their government functionaries. And when you went to a MANA meeting, even the MANA meeting we had here, we see that it was organized, it was structured, and the people that were scheduled to be the leaders of that, they all supported each other and they excluded everyone else. It didn't make no difference what your credentials was. So we want to talk about our own credentials a little bit and how we came upon this ability to look at the world and to look at the Muslim world especially, and to forecast accurately, time after time, the so-called premeditated or unpremeditated, the actions that are bound to happen. Now, how can we as a group or a movement be so accurate on such a regular basis? Well, first of all, I want to go back 35, almost 40 years ago, when we started on this journey. Well, you could go all the way back to 74 and 75, or 75 when we technically became Sunni Muslims. But during those first years, we were looking for well, it lasted a long time. We were looking for the great leader. We was almost programmed to find the savior personality, Mujaddid, great leader, and Imam Muhammad had many names. He was started off as a supreme leader or something like that. Then he was a chief imam, and then he was a mujaddid, and then he was a spokesman for the world, something or other. But the actions did not rise to the occasion of the time. Here's a man that had a group, had a movement, had an organization, and he could have taken it anywhere. Instead of energizing it and moving right from the civil rights movement to the Islamic movement, he chose to trust in America. And that was a poor decision. That trust in America is what you have in the group now. You see it all around. And you see that he systematically did it to where there would be no leadership really after him, and there would be no, the movement would be standard Islam with no real goal, no real focus, nowhere to go. They would be and are good day-to-day Muslims, yes. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about a need at a time. There's a time when the environment cries out for certain needs. Now, the Islamic leadership or the committee or the liberation movement have to rise to the occasion of that time. They have to establish organizations, movements, and goals and directions that take them from where they are to where they should go in order to answer the needs of the movement of that time. A lot of it is situational. So, the government, what it does, what it's did here in America and around the world, the thing we discovered about being on this Islamic circuit is that the Islamic Republic, the revolutionary Iran, opened up a whole new vista for possibilities in the Islamic world. But that revolution also opened the door to great challenges and great enemies. Ever since the revolutionary Iran, Saudi Arabia has used all of its money, all of its expertise to aid and assist people in breaking the back of the revolution. That's been their goal. The Israelis follow right along with them, and of course the American government, which completes the triangle of terror. Now I want to bring you up to our time when we, as a group, as a movement, as an organization, we want to talk about our criteria and how we came to be what we are and why we are what we are today, why we're looked at what, and why we are treated the way we are treated by the environment and everybody in it. So, for years, we participated in great conferences. I have some of the, this is a feature of the Haramain conference, Muslim Institute in London. This is January 6th to the 9th. And each great speaker, I think you have somebody, each great speaker had to present a paper. Each speaker, except myself and a few more, I never presented papers, I just got up and spoke. They presented papers on their subject. And so This is Sokoto Khalife, a West African 19th century model of state Hajj policy. Tahir Muhammad from Nigeria, he's a professor there. And so we got a chance to study all of these papers. We got a chance to talk to all of these speakers. Civilization role of Hajj, Dr. A. Rashid Latin, University of Kano, Nigeria. So they gave a talk, but they also presented a paper, and that was a long row of tables, and they would have stacks of each speaker's lectures. But I would go along and I would collect every one of those, usually 2 or 3. Future of Haramain. Tenguk Hassan in Titiro, so it's West Africa. Future of Haramain. This person is Vali of the Islamic State of Aceh, Sumatra, and President of the Liberation Front of Aceh, Sumatra, before the first Sixth World Seminar. This is big time people. This brother here, I don't see his credentials there. His credentials are not there either. But Dr. Mahmoud Rahman Faisal, convener of Tariqi in Kilab, Islam. That is Tariqi, the way of organization, in Kilab Revolution in Farsi. This is just the roster for each day. Ustad Hadi Awain, the great leader even today of the Malaysian Islamic movement. Tijani al-Miskin, Sheikh Abdullah al-Halak, Lebanon, Sheikh Mahir Hamoud, Lebanon, just a big bunch of great folks. The National House Seminar, this is back in '82. Even if I wasn't there, if they had another table of past lectures, like this one in '82, in London, I wasn't there, but I got all the proceedings. Okay. Dr. Kaleem Siddiqui, The Future of Haramain and the Emerging Political Power. Okay, I could go on and on and on and on and on. Towards Universal Outlook for the Haramain. On and on and on. Okay, so now, this is in '88. So what I'm doing is, I'm all ready to start the show by '88 on the circuit. That's why I don't have to write a paper, because writing a paper is not my strong suit. Is to come up after everybody has talked, and Dr. Kaleem Siddiqui is hosting this, and this is when he first tells me, we are counting on you. And I'm telling him, Doc, take it easy, I got it covered. In other words, we're counting on you. Now you got to remember, all of these great scholars from all over the Muslim world are giving lectures. I'm speaking, I'm listening to the lectures, and at the same time, I'm collecting all of the lectures for the future, so I can read, and when I come back, I can give these lectures, and I can cross-reference all of this great information. Okay. Seventh Islamic Thought Conference. This is Dr. Zafrul Islam Khan, Director of the Institute of Islamic and Arabic Studies, New Delhi, India. I think he's still alive. He's a friend of mine. Muslim-orientated Christian mission. So that's his lecture. Decade of Revolution, Islam and the struggle to end tabligh of world arrogance of the East and the West. Again, this is a person from the Department of Political Science, Ahmadu Bello University, Nigeria. Secularism and its impact on Hajj operations in Nigeria. Department of Political Science, Ahmadu Bello University. Okay, now remember, I'm listening to all these brothers. I'm hanging out with the brothers. We're discussing. In these days, we're all equal or a little ahead because remember, they're in their own space. They're teaching Nigeria, Malaysia. But see, by 89, I'm coming from a universal background. I've been all over the world. I understand the movement down in South America, Central America. When I used to sit in the park in Mexico in the evening, let's just say around 70 or 71, all the old men are discussing things. You know what they're discussing? The Mexican Revolution, 1911 and 1917. And they're all from the same place. And they're arguing. No, General Villa came from that way, and then he went over here, then he, no, you don't remember. And I'm listening to all of this. Guess what I'm learning? About the details of the Mexican Revolution. And these old men sitting in the park who are now 70, 75 years old, some 80 and older, are talking to each other, and I'm just sitting there and listening. This didn't happen just in Mexico. It happened all over the world, all the movements in Latin America. So now, here's another big conference. And these are all lectures. Remember, they give a lecture, and they have a table full of the papers. See, Dr. Siddiqui, they're part of an institute, the Muslim Institute in London. So when you're going to give a talk, you have to submit your paper. Then they review it, then they send you an invitation. They say, we're going to have a conference in London, we're going to have a conference in Tehran, and we want everybody interested to send, write a paper. They would review them. Now, can you imagine the knowledge that they're gaining by reviewing all of these? Okay, imagine the knowledge that we're gaining picking up everyone. Some of them got lost. Conceptual framework for Tabligh from the Islamic State of Iran, Dr. Khalid Siddiqui, Muslim Institute. Identification of Tabligh activities of Christianity and missionary works. Hamza Dawood of Nigeria. So I'm there with the guys talking about the effect of the Christian counter-Islamic Dawah movement, right? And the one that is doing the research on it, towards a theory of communication and ethics. Hamid Maula, he's actually from this area, the Iranian. Anybody know Dr. Ismail Faruqi? Mm-hmm. On the nature of Islamic Dawah. Dr. Ismail Faruqi. Tabligh in Islam, its important objective in present condition. Saad Ahmed. Some reflections on prophetic Tabligh and their implications for the present day Tabligh. And Darabi Srinagar from Kashmir. Strategy of Tabligh, that is propagation of Islam. Muhammad Taqi Rahbar. Okay, so here's what I'm talking about is we already, the first time I speak at the biggest conference in 1984, we just stole the show. A lot of big shots there. In fact, everybody there was a big shot. It was up in Canada. It was the first time on the international scene they had heard an African American so clear and comprehensive. So I don't know if y'all ever heard of Ayatollah Khani, Mahdavi Khani. He's on a picture with me in Niagara Falls. He was the head of the combatant ulama. He was probably the third highest man in Iran at that time. He was at this conference, and the thing about it, he smoked. A lot of the ulama smoked. In fact, way back when, they smoked opium and everything. It wasn't nothing. It's a big deal, you know, and cigarettes. So the brothers that was translating are the brothers from Berkeley. So they already knew my language and everything. The lecture was so comprehensive that when he spoke, he said, Asant for our brother, you know, like, thank you, this is it here, right here. And then I told the brothers, tell him not to smoke in front of the other brothers because of the lower his status. He's the biggest thing since sliced bread here. But to pull out a cigarette, you know what I mean? And not that it's haram, some people say it is. Some people say it's makruh. I just told the brothers, tell him to suck it up and don't smoke at the conference. Don't wait till he get in his room late at night. Anyway, this is what we've been coming in contact with. Now, all of us remember some of these 1983 and 84 issues of Islamic movement. These are detailed. Anybody ever read any of these? These are educational. This is 83 and 84. Does anybody know who these people are?
Well, I know Sayyid Qutb.
That's Sayyid Qutb.
Mm-hmm. I don't know the other brothers.
How about Iqbal?
Iqbal Siddiq, I was going to say that. Yeah.
And then this is, the Iranians call him Jalaluddin As-Sabiqun.
Mm.
Everybody else called him, the Sunnis called him Jalaluddin As-Sabiqun. What about these guys?
Those, I don't know.
No. Okay, this is Beheshti. I told him Beheshti. This what's the name from Egypt? Remember when they killed Saddam?
And they put him in the cage.
Yeah, that's the way they do everybody. This is a brother from Raghib Har, Sheikh Raghib Har, the great brother that deals with orphans. One more shot. Okay. Ayatollah Montazeri, remember he was going to be the second man, he was the second man in charge under Imam Khomeini. He was going to be the Rahbar until he went off a little bit. He joined the bums now.
Hakeem.
Lebanon. Say Fadlallah, and Gulbuddin Hikmatyar, Afghanistan. The point is, if you read any of these, that was deep. It was education. Okay. I did all that to just show that when people, if I were to have had an Islamic education, right, and you go to the centers and you hear lectures and you do research, right, that means I have 35 years, I have 30 good years of listening to the biggest shuyukh of the time. Listening and talking and having them ask me questions too. And the questions help you develop. You see what I mean? Okay. This may be a little old, but you can see this is centerfold. This is 89. Kehan Al-Hajj Malik Shabazz, the most honorable black leader in U.S. history. So, it got a smidget, look at that. That's the blackest beard in the world at that time. That is a black beard. It's got another decade before it gets any great.
You ain't talking about the pirate either.
Huh?
You're not talking about the pirate either.
So look, here's what I'm talking about. If all of this stuff has many pulls, and we mentioned, we're going for this fool messing with my family, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to make a fool out of it. And Donald Trump makes a fool out of himself at the UN, right? Okay. The other day, it's one way, but today it's another. Why? Because all the stuff, you remember, everything is a minimum of 3 levels deep. And we explain stuff to people. Usually we have to just stay on the surface. But did Donald Trump do that on purpose? Was he ready to be laughed at? Think about it. He didn't get mad, did he? You think Donald Trump, and he's like, yeah, Donald Trump ain't like that. It's another possibility. We're not going to get into the other possibilities. But for us, we don't care what happens. Why? Because we have studied this stuff in detail. When we said it was no Arab Spring, it wasn't a big deal to us. And we said exactly what's going to happen. Why? We knew all the people. We called the names of the group. Nada in Tunisia, Iqwan in Egypt. And I talked to Zafar and them about it. We were still on speaking things. And Zafar was saying one thing. Well, Nada, Tunisia. Now remember, all the exiles, Rashid Ghanouchi and all those people, Tunisia. We were the revolutionary arm of the movement at that time. So we attracted all the revolutionaries, all the, not the Saudi-funded Ikhwanis, but everybody else. And we had conferences. And we was trying to spread hope, possible revolutions. And we were analysts, and we had to plan and think and futurize. We had to get a concept. We wanted to leave our fingerprints on the pages of history. So, just this stuff right here is enough to get a PhD in political science and Islamic studies. The people have to think about that. So, when they bring their second-class Muslim, when they bring Abdul Malik up, Abdul Malik, they give their speakers, they give their Negroes, like Malcolm called them, hand-picked Negroes. The press play like you don't exist. With them guys, even in Oakland, San Francisco, the press, their press would talk to Abdul Malik. They would pretend like I don't exist. They did it up until they left. If anything happened, we have a Quds demonstration, and everybody for the Quds demonstration would come from all over the western U.S., and they would stay in the Masjid in Oakland. Then we would go over to San Francisco, have that Quds demonstration. We'd come back to the Masjid, everybody would relax. That's where all that feeding come from. I got used to feeding all the people and cooking food for everybody. It was the headquarters. The people came from Washington, they came from Oregon, they came from Southern California, they came from Arizona, they came from Colorado, they came from New Mexico. Even at times some came as far away as Texas. The whole western United States came to the Quds demonstration in San Francisco. They had another one here, but the one there, we managed it. Now all the people are coming. The news wouldn't say nothing, but if Abdul Malik them later on, when he was there, if they sneezed, you would look on CNN, and there they are. So, imagine them a few years ago. They got all their people intact. They got manna. You can remember, they got it on the road. They got all the groups, movement, and organizations going their way. They've taken Hamza Youssef now, and they've taken Zaid Shakir and sent him out there to help Hamza Youssef, because it's a Berkeley, Oakland area, and he's a little scary, you know. I say he's scary because in 1997, at the ISNA conference, Hamza and Zaid came by my table. Can we please have a conference? We want to talk. And everybody was looking at me, the rest of the